It is Children's Day and all the children are enjoying their day. It is also Vinay's birthday, so he invites his friends after school for his birthday party.
Hey, how was your school?
It was great.
Hey guys, I'm inviting you guys to my birthday party. Please tell Kiran also.
So, where are you celebrating it?
It's in the hotel. I'll send you the address. Please come, okay? And don't forget to tell Kiran.
The next day after the birthday party, the four friends meet in the school.
Oh my god, your birthday party was so awesome. Now let's see all the gifts you got. I want to see them.
My birthday came and I got another one of those gadgets. So boring.
Wow, you got so many gadgets. I'm going to ask my parents to buy the same gifts for me too.
Whoa, that was a lot of jealousy.
Yeah, we got to teach him a lesson.
Okay.
We will talk to him during lunch.
Gautam and Rajesh meet Vinay during the lunch break. They ask him if he could help them teach a lesson to Kiran.
Kiran, did you know that jealousy causes problems?
Yes, why are you telling this to me?
Because you are jealous of Vinay's birthday party.
And have you heard this quote by Swami Chinmayananda? Don't find your key to happiness in someone else's pocket.
Let me show you the story of Manthara and you will get to know what are the consequences of jealousy and what did she do.
As we all know that Manthara was jealous on Rama and she wanted to take a revenge too. One day King Dasharatha planned to make his son Rama as the king of Ayodhya. Well, Manthara heard about this news. Manthara had developed a kind of antagonism towards Rama and she wanted to take a revenge against him. Manthara, as a family servant of Kaikeyi, she loved Kaikeyi and Bharata. It is also said that Kaikeyi loved Rama more than Bharata and spent more time with Rama. This made Manthara jealous of Rama. When she informed Kaikeyi that Rama was being a king of Ayodhya, whereas Kaikeyi had no problem with it. As Manthara wanted to take a revenge, she starts poisoning Kaikeyi's mind. She knew that this would be a perfect plan. Kaikeyi was totally influenced by Manthara. As a result, Rama was exiled for 14 years in the forest and Bharata was planned to become a king. Yes, Manthara did not only cause harm to herself but also she caused harm to her beloved ones Kaikeyi and Bharata. But Kaikeyi lost husband, son and respect of everyone. Bharata too lost living with his brother whom he loved and worshipped.
How do I overcome this?
To overcome jealousy, one must be calm. To meditation, be content with what they have and be aware that one is unique. Pray to God and do not start unhealthy competition with jealousy. It is unhealthy. And lastly, in our minds, there's a constant fight between good and evil. Good represents the Devas and bad, Asuras. Choose the Devas. It is easier to go to the dark side, but it's hard to follow the light path.
Let me tell you one more thing about jealousy. Jealousy is a complex emotion which often brings you rage, unhappiness and anger. Sometimes it also brings you depression. Now how to overcome it? One way is to be honest. Be honest that you're feeling jealous. Know that you're actually having the emotion of jealousy. Half the problem goes away when you know what the problem is.
Do you know that even Lord Krishna has said the explanation of jealousy in Bhagavad Gita? Have a look at this video.
एत्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तः नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः.
Meaning, Sri Krishna explains Arjuna that what prevents us from adopting Karma Yoga, the primary obstacle to Karma Yoga are our vasanas. Once a person is under the influence of vasanas, their actions will be prompted by selfish motives. These motives are expressed as negative emotions such as jealousy, which dwells our intellect that knows what we are doing is wrong. Example, I will do things to make others jealous. But since our vasanas have overpowered the intellect, it does not function, and so we follow a wrong path. We are then ruined because we are against the laws of nature.
Kiran is now no more jealous of anything. He thanks his friends for helping him realize his mistake.
Hariom, we are Group 8 Vishwamitra. I am here from my team to introduce you to the topic. There are 6 enemies within us: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha and Matsara. What we are talking today is Matsara and Krodha caused by Matsara, that is, jealousy and anger caused by jealousy.
Jealousy. It's an insecure feeling that we don't have name, fame or any other things that our sibling, friend or anybody has. So one thing to be noticed in jealousy is we get angry for that person whom we are jealous for no reasons or for small reasons. So that is what we are talking about, Matsara and growth caused by Matsara. So there are many harms due to jealousy. First one, mind gets distracted as we focus on others' progress and not ours. Second one, we lose our confidence thinking that others are better than us and we are nothing. Third one, as I told in the beginning, we tend to become angry for no reasons. So considering all these points, let's have an example of jealousy.
Once there was a popular musician named Tumbaru. He was an amazing singer and is considered as one of the best of singers in Hindu mythology. Once Narada and Tumbaru went to Vaikunta. Tumbaru sang in front of Lord Vishnu. Lord became pleased and gifted precious ornaments to Tumbaru. Narada, the prime devotee of Lord Vishnu, became jealous of Tumbaru. Out of jealousy, he decided he will also please Lord Vishnu by his singing. Narada learned singing, prayed to Lord Shiva for a boon to become an expert singer, and sang many times over a period of thousands of years before Lord Vishnu. However, Lord Vishnu didn't feel the same joy in his heart by Narada's singing. Ultimately, thinking beyond the jealousy and out of humility, Narada went to Tumbaru and asked to teach him how to sing. Once Tumbaru taught him, he sang in front of Lord Vishnu in Dwaraka. Lord became extremely pleased and gifted him clothes and ornaments as rewards.
Coming to the moral of the story, we get two morals. Never be jealous and strive to learn from others who are better than us. From the first moral, that is never be jealous, we know that we should never be jealous and it's a waste of time. Instead, we can concentrate on how to become a better person through positive ways of thinking. And the second moral, strive to learn from others who are better than us. We know that we should always learn from others who are better than us, as this may help us become a better person in life. This will get rid us of our ego and make us a pure soul.
Never hate people who are jealous. They are the ones who think you are better than them. People feel jealous about others when they believe that we have more good things than them. So do not hate. Do not put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. We should not allow people, words and actions to affect our mood.
Daily, detect diligently, negate ruthlessly. This means that every day you have to check if you're doing things right. If you're not doing something right, try and correct it as soon as possible. These wrong things include jealousy, hate, impatience, anger, etc. Second quote is, the fewer one's possessions, the greater one's enjoyment and freedom. This means that the fewer things you possess, the lesser you have to take care of it. So don't mind if others have something you don't have.
Everyone of you know, prevention is better than curing. It also applies with jealousy. Now, here are some methods to prevent jealousy. First, increase your self-awareness. Know yourself and accept yourself as who you are and not who you should or should not be. Second, be happy with what you have. In life, you will not get everything that you require. So, it's important to be happy with what you have. This will reduce the desire to want more. Third, ask and learn from successful people. What has led them to that position in which they are? This will not only help you to reduce the greed, but it will also help you to be successful in life. Fourth and the last point, determine the source of your jealousy. This will help you to stay out of situations wherein you feel jealous or even find a solution for it.
Trying to control others is not a way to get out of jealousy. So the steps or the process that to overcome jealousy are to accept the responsibility that is given to us, to be grateful for what we have and to know what we really want.
Recognize that you have a problem. Before you can begin to tackle your jealousy, you need to admit that it's a real problem that is taking over your life and keeping you from loving the person that you are. Improve who you are. If you are chronically jealous person, then the chances that
You feel that you are not a person who is worthy of admiration because you are not an interesting, exciting, or a dynamic person. It's time to work on making yourself into a person who has a reason to not be jealous because you're so happy with who you are. Develop your self confidence. Write down all the things that you love about yourself and also make a list of your flaws. Avoid telling people how lucky they are all the time. This might create an uncomfortable situation.
निद्रच्छलाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वतीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धा उसिद्धश्च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते. This translates to satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord, tolerant of dualities, devoid of envy towards others, and well performing, equipoised in success, and failure is never affected him. I think jealousy is an undesirable quality as it stimulates different negative emotions such as anger, violence, guilt, annoyance, etc. With the story that has been presented, we can see that jealousy does no one good. Instead, we should learn from others who we believe to be better than us.
I hope that this video will be useful and many of them inculcate these good qualities to remove jealousy. Thank you, Hari Om.
Asuya, 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 Asuya. Jealousy is when you count others' blessings, not your own. Jealousy is when you count others' blessings, not your own. Just the way envy struck sage Narada. Just the way envy struck sage Narada. When he wanted to be just like Tumburu. When he wanted to be just like Tumburu. Asuya, Asuya. Asuya! Rust eats iron, envy eats the envious. Rust eats iron, envy eats the envious. Duryodhan's power, hunger devoured the god in him. Duryodhan's power, hunger devoured the god in him. Asuya! Asuya! Asuya!
The group started out with a meeting in which they got to know each other. Moving forward, the work was split among all the members and a deadline was set. Eventually, after some meetings and discussions, all the work was collected and put together as a video.
Let's see what anasuya means. As the topic given to us is how to get rid of jealousy, we picked the name of our group as Anasuya, which refers to the fact of being free from jealousy. Anasuya is composed of two Sanskrit words, na and asuya. Na is the negative prefix which means absence, while asuya means jealousy. Anasuya could be translated into English as the one who is free from jealousy or envy. As the topic given to us is jealousy, let's see what it actually is and how to overcome it. Jealousy is defined as a very watchful or careful human nature. Envy is defined as a feeling of discontent and ill will because of another's advantages, possessions, etc.
Now, to make things a little interesting, let's see what each group member thinks about jealousy. These are the opinions of some of the group members. Most of them think that jealousy is either related to something about trust or it's about a person's desire not coming true.
Jealousy, according to my opinion, comes out of lack of trust in the process of life, in your partner, in yourself. Lack of trust breeds insecurity, which creates jealousy. This is the cold, hard truth about jealousy. Hari Om.
Now, let's look at some fun examples so that we can understand our topic better.
Draupadi was once jealous of Subhadra when she got to know that her husband Arjun had got a second wife. But at a point of time, she realized her mistake and she was able to overcome jealousy. As you all know, Duryodhan had jealousy and hatred towards the Pandavas since childhood. He didn't want them to sit on the throne. In fact, he wanted only himself to rule over the land. Since he couldn't get rid of this jealousy and hatred towards the Pandavas, he met the end of his life.
There are two ways by which you can overcome jealousy. One is by focusing externally and accepting the truth or the fact. Two is by focusing internally and focusing on your own self and trying to correct your own mistake if made. Just the way Draupadi did. And if you fail to follow both these ways, then you're gonna end up like Duryodhan.
Now let's see the contribution of each member of the group in making this video a success. Shriya and Harshita, scripting and narration. Vishnumaya and Gayatri, composing and singing of the song. Siddharth, Nidhi and Hrishikesh, collection of all information. Yuvraj and Vishnumaya, compiling and making of final PPT.
Last topic, jealousy. We are coming to a very interesting topic, right? Samarth, I'll ask you to unmute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll ask you to become live in a minute. The situation is your friends keep getting new gadgets. You are very jealous as a result. You get angry with them for small things. Now again, the task is identify the principles you can use to feel better and identify a character from the Puranas who went through this. Gurudev, of course, has his wonderful quotes. Do not put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. That's a very wonderful quote. A lot of people have talked about that quote. The second one is also very important. Introspect daily, detect diligently, negate ruthlessly. IDN. Introspect, detect, negate, and substitute. IDNS. Right? And last but not least, the quote that we wanted you to look at was, the fewer one's possessions, the greater are one's enjoyment and freedom. Now I call upon group Atri, Samarth, who's already visible, and Jahnavi. Could you please summarize your presentation? I want to see Jahnavi. There you are. Yeah, please summarize your presentation.
Hello, my name is Jahnavi and I'm going to summarize my team's presentation about jealousy. Now, we have mentioned that there's a friend who is totally jealous of his friend who is getting many gadgets. His friend is bored of getting gadgets, but this guy is totally into, like, really, really jealous that he never got any gadgets, which are very interesting. So now we have mentioned some quotes from Gurudev and also how to overcome it. And I have a small suggestion that why not try to use your imagination? Why not make your own gadget? You'll have many stuff left at home, like the stuff which you buy, etc. You can use your imagination. You can use your knowledge, etc. to make one yourself, which will help you in both the ways. One knowledge to enjoyment. So, and also we have took a verse from Bhagavad Gita which explains jealousy and what it is. It also explains vasanas, etc. So this is what we wanted to tell about jealousy in our thing. And we also mentioned many facts about jealousy, that how you should overcome jealousy. What is the fact? What will it occur? Like what will it cause to your life? Or your physical appearance, mental, brain, etc.
Very nice, very nice. So the questions, in fact, the tips that you mentioned, one of them was just be honest about it, right? Acknowledge the emotion, and you say half the problem goes away when you are aware of it, right? And Group Dadichi has a question exactly on that point. How does accepting jealousy help get rid of it? Can you clarify?
Whenever we have jealousy, we have to accept it and we have to use the principles and we have to prevent that jealousy. So, prevention is better than curing it.
Preventing is better than curing it. I see. I see. I see. You want to add anything, Janhavi?
Yes, so you want to, like, when you are honest that you're jealous, people will understand and leave you, like, just like they won't criticize you or do anything. You be honest that you're jealous and you say that, yes, I want this gadget, I would like to have a look. Why not just borrow it from your friend for some specific time? Small solution, if they
I see.
agree.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Group Brihaspati, see, you brought in, like you mentioned, you brought in a Gita verse and you say actions, basically what prevents us from taking up Karma Yoga are our vasanas. And these are actions prompted that they are expressed as negative emotions, such as jealousy, etc. Group Brihaspati has a very simple question. What are vasanas? Can you explain?
I think Samarth is taking this question.
Samarth, you want to talk about it? What are vasanas? If you don't know the answer right away, no problem, no issues.
The vasanas is like, I will explain. Yeah, vasanas comes under
Your
your
audio, your
actions.
video has gone off, Janhavi. Your video has gone off. Can you come online again? Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So your vasanas means like your actions, footprints of the past, or like the actions that are left up on the personalities, etc. And also the condition is like these are impressions from the past provide the conditioning for our present thoughts by giving them specific texture, quality, and fragrance. So the
Okay.
vasanas erupt through stuff like very similar thoughts, and which create them flowing out from us, prompt for our endless activities. So
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
they
Amar?
prompt desire, intellect, throughout thoughts in mind level and actions in physical level.
Okay. Okay. You're again, I don't know, this is a visibility problem. You need to come online again, Janhavi. Samarth, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I want to add. But how is vasanas are created by each one of us when we act? An impression of is formed in us. Actions, when we do it with selfish motives, create the vasanas, and all the desires they turn into all the desires in turn all our actions are prompted because of our vasanas or tendencies.
Okay, okay. One question I had, and it was really nicely put. You said, I think in one of your descriptions, you said basically there's a fight between devas and asuras that is happening in your mind. What did you mean by that? What was the symbolism of that deva and asura fight?
Devas represent all the good qualities and asuras represent all the bad qualities. So when both fight, when devas and asuras bad qualities and good qualities fight, good qualities should be more, and
Okay.
qualities like jealousy, anger, they should be less, and they should be eliminated, prevented.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, both of you. Really enjoyed this interaction. It was a nicely done presentation. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari
We'll
Om.
move on to group Vishwamitra. I call upon Karthik and Amrita. Yeah. Can you please summarize your presentation?
Yes, sir. Hari Om. Our topic is your friends keep getting new gadgets and you are very jealous of it. As a result, you get angry with them for small things. In our video, we have explained what is jealousy. Jealousy is a feeling or showing of an bitterness at someone else's possessions, qualities, or lack. Next, we have explained about the consequences of jealousy, which includes anger and lack of concentration. Later, we have narrated a story wherein Narada Muni had overcome his jealousy on Tumbaru and had also become successful at pleasing the Lord. Moving on, We have explained some quotes related with jealousy. Finally, we have explained some methods to prevent jealousy, and adding to that, we have also explained some methods to overcome it.
Very nice. Very nice. So you had a lot of data in your presentation. That was very nicely, collected very nicely. And you also had this whole, Narada and Tumburu story. So there was a question from group Sandeepani, and this is an interesting question. Do we need to compare ourselves with someone better than us? What if we need to compare ourselves with how we have progressed from the past? Like, should we be comparing with others, or should we be comparing with ourselves from the past?
Sir, comparing itself is a negative one. You don't need to compare yourself if you know who you are, because everyone has his or her own talent. So there's a quote by Tim Notke: hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. So if you do hard work, then you can beat your talent and go up. There's no need to compare the past or any others. If you do hard work, you can achieve anything that's impossible. You think impossible.
Okay, nicely put, Amrita. Group Yajnavalkya had a question about your Tumburu story. In Tumburu story, basically, you said he first went and sang, it did not move Vishnu, and then he went and learned, he was very jealous. He went and learned from Tumburu and all that. Group Yajnavalkya is asking, how did Narada overcome his jealousy? The method was not clear.
Actually, in the story, Narada first gets jealous of Tumburu. Then he practices, and he could not sing very nicely in front of Vishnu. Again, he goes to Shiva to he wants a boon from Shiva. So Shiva gives a boon so that he sings nicely. Though he gives a boon, Vishnu was not very happy with the singing. Again, out of jealousy, he thought he practiced for thousands of years, but also he could not do it right. So he thought beyond jealousy, means first he got to know that he was jealous of Tumburu, so he was doing all these things. So after that, he thought beyond jealousy that if Tumburu has sung very nicely in front of Vishnu and Tumburu has impressed, so he's the only one who can teach Narada to sing like that, right? So he went to Tumburu and thought Tumburu thought singing for Narada.
Very nice, Amrita. So basically, the way I see the story is, it's really following Gurudev's quote, right? Narada introspected, right? He realized that he detected that he was feeling jealousy for Tumburu. And how did he negate that jealousy? He decided, I will become the Shishya of Tumburu, right? So that introspection, detection, and negation, right, really worked in that scenario. And that's how Vishnu, when Narada learned from Tumburu and went back to sing to Vishnu, Vishnu gladly accepted him at that point, right? So nicely put. The learning from others to improve. One of the points that I saw in your presentation was you can learn from others to improve yourself. So I wanted to ask you, name a few things or anything that you have learned from others during this workshop. What has something, that you have really kind of gotten from other people that you have really learned at this point? Any thoughts? If not, you can say, no, I haven't learned anything, no problem.
No, taking good things from people is very good, because we have to leave our bad things and take good things from good people. It may be anyone. Take good things from them, no matter
Right.
what.
So give me examples. Putting you on the spot, huh? Okay, let me ask you, think about it, come back to this question. Making a list of your flaws and your strengths. This was also another point that you made. Right? Make a list of your flaws and your strengths. And my question is, why should we do this? How does it help us to make a list of flaws and strengths?
So when we know what we are good at, and others are not, so everyone have different talents, and it might not be that you have this what others have, you might not have it. So when you realize what you have, it will help you feel happy, because when everyone are not good at everything. So when you are good at something, that also makes you feel happy. So that's what we have to know ourselves and accept ourselves as who we are and not who we should or should not be.
So basically, making a list kind of helps you become aware of yourself at that point. Okay, cool.
And even you can strengthen your weaknesses there.
Right. Good, good. You guys stay online. I'm going to take a topic which came from Group Valmiki. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I would like your perspective also on it. Okay. Group Valmiki asks, sometimes our feeling of a little jealousy can make us work positively to achieve something. Is this okay? They're asking, is a little jealousy okay at this point? And let me give you my perspective, and I want to see what your thoughts are. Right? Yes, jealousy can be a motivation, right? Yes, it will most likely make you work harder, right? Those two things are there and they look very positive. Motivation, and it will make you work harder. But it's a very dangerous slope. Remember, even if you work hard, the result may not be achieved. You may not get that result, right? So you'll still get frustrated at that point. And let's say you work hard, you do achieve something, but you'll still be comparing with that other person, right? That comparison is going to keep happening. And like Amrita said, comparison is not great, right? Because that, see, again, two things are possible. That person may have not done as well, in which case you put him down and you feel happy. Or even though you tried hard and you did better, that person may have done even better. And then again, you're frustrated. So basically, right, it's like this, very simple. Do you want to control your mind, or do you let your mind control you? When you say, is a little jealousy okay? What you're basically saying is jealousy, anger, greed, desire, pride, ego, all of these are negative, right? Once they sink their claws into you, they get control of you. They are controlling you. You're not in control of them, right? You're no longer in control of your mind. You're no longer in control of your personality. So, yes, it gives motivation. Yes, you do work harder. But remember, it's a very, very dangerous thing. You do not want to operate on that principle because you no longer are in control. It is controlling you. Jealousy is controlling you, right? The green dragon of envy is driving your motivations, is driving your actions, and that is not something that you want to go towards. So this is my answer. It was asked by Group Valmiki to your group actually, but I thought I'll just give you my perspective. If any of you want to add anything, please do.
Yeah, just motivation. Yes, it may come from jealousy, no doubt. But instead of jealousy, see, motivation can be through a big person, whoever is famous in the nation, in the world, whoever it may be, or even your classmate, whom you know personally. You can, he or she can be your motivation. So, example I'll give. So, your friend is see, you are the second rank student in your class, and your friend is the first rank student. See, instead of being jealous of your friend, I think you can get motivated by her, learn things from her, and instead of pulling her down and you going forward, you just beat her. Means see, when you have a person in front of you, don't try to pull them from their place. Means telling negative thoughts to them pulls them from their place, right? Don't do that. Don't pull someone from them from that place. Instead of that, you beat that place and go one step forward. That time you'll be first. Instead of that, you pulling them and you from the second you jump to first. It's not fair. And jealousy may help sometimes, but not always, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Karthik, you have anything to add?
Yeah, like it is good until we are in control of it, but not unless it takes over us.
Right. It can easily overpower us, is what you're saying. Very nice. Thank you, both of you, Karthik and Amrita. Hari Om. Call upon group Anasuya. I believe the last group, Vishnu Maya and Harshita. Please summarize your presentation.
Hello. So, as a topic given to us was something that everyone would face in their day to day life, we decided to put in optimum effort to emphasize a minor but tri-moral to all. As a group possessed a lot of different opinions and ideas, the video starts off with some music, as music is believed to speak where the words fail. Moving forward, the video manifests the opinion about each and every group member on the topic. The video conveys the message of how bad jealousy can be and how one can overcome it. Our group mainly focused on some stories from the Puranas like Duryodhan's jealousy over the Pandavas and Narada's jealousy over Tambaru. And examples using this same, we managed to pass on the technique to overcome and avoid jealousy. And lastly, I would like to say that our hearts are too valuable to allow hatred and jealousy to rent a spot. So let's focus on what we have and enjoy it while it lasts.
Thank you. That was short and sweet, Vishnumaya. So the feedback was wonderful. Group Sandhi. By the way, I loved your song, right? Asuya. Asuya. The start itself was very interesting. Who thought of that? Who came up with that idea?
Me and one of our group members, but the mentor gave us the idea of putting a song in so it would be unique.
I see. It was wonderfully done. And Group Sandeepani agrees. They say, we loved your presentation. But they also have a question. They ask a different way. If someone is envious of us and we know it, how do we handle it?
I'll go about it. If someone is envious of us and like we're aware of it, you should try and support that person. Like it depends. Like you told, jealousy in itself is a very big thing. Too much of anything is bad. So you should see how envious that person is of you. If it's like a little minute thing, maybe you can approach that person and tell them that tell them your opinion, tell them that it's not good being envious, or support them and tell them how to overcome it or help them in the part where they're jealous. And if they're jealous because of something that you own, then you maybe need to tell them that you see, maybe we need it, but then it's not as necessity as it is for you. It may not be your need, it may be your want. So you can make that person realize if it's because of something you own or if it's some other aspect.
Okay. Thank you. Group Sandeepani again, right? They were very active with your group. If we are jealous of someone, what does it say about us?
Hashita, you want to go?
Yeah. About us, like it will tell that we think they are more superior than us. Like we should try to be content with what we have so that we don't feel jealous and think they are more superior than us. Yeah.
Okay. From group Vishwamitra also had a different question. And I think it's related to one of your points, right, that you had made. Like if I go back in my notes here, hold on 1 second. You said something about lack of trust. You said in life, lack of trust. What does jealousy do? It makes it hard to accept many things about life and your partner. And group Vishwamitra says, why is jealousy connected to lack of trust?
Okay, so by lack of trust, it means lack of trust in yourself too. So if you're jealous about someone else, you may not trust your feelings or you may not trust what you have, and it can bring you down. Like, for example, someone tells you that you're good at this, but then you're jealous of someone else who's better at it than you. So you don't trust your own talent, but then you try to get jealous or be disappointed about something or someone who's better than you in it. So you forget to accept the fact and focus on yourself and lose trust in yourself, which again leads to something more bad than jealousy.
You want to add anything, Harshita?
No.
Okay. So let me call on all the groups to come back online. So the final summary for this particular topic, see, these are my thoughts on it, right? The starting point is really the mind, right? This particular topic, jealousy is a characteristic of the mind, right? It's basically a thought process. Now, first of all, what is mind? It's a flow of thoughts, right? So you have two types of thoughts, many types of thoughts, but really let's characterize two. One is uncontrolled thoughts. You think of a pravaha, right? A flood of water down the riverbank, right? Going down the river, right? That's one kind of flow. The other one is gentle and controlled flow at this point. Right? What happens in the case of The six, in the Bhagavatam, these are referred to as 6 sharks. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. One of you also talked about it in your presentations, right? Now, these are all sharks. They are waiting in your mind to take you away from your focus. They want to take you away from your path. They are like sharks who are waiting in the, you fall off from the boat, the shark gets you, right? Similarly, these are sharks in your mind waiting to get you. Right? And Matsarya in particular is very insidious, right? Because it's connected with others, right? When you're jealous of others, what happens is you have unfulfilled karma, right? You are desirous of what they possess. And when that karma is unfulfilled, it leads to krodha. And finally, moha, delusion, right? You place a false value on possessions rather than relationships, right? See, there is a saying, love people and use objects. Use objects and love people. With jealousy, what happens is it becomes ulta. We love objects and we use people, right? So again, we talked about Shreyas, Prayas, we talked about spiritualistic versus materialistic. All of these are falling in that category, but jealousy in particular changes your perspective. It gives you this delusion finally. You're trying to get hold of that object or that position, and you're actually using people and you're losing your relationships in the process at this point, right? So the Pratipaksha Bhava should simply be, oh, I don't need too many possessions, right? Oh, he has, fine, he has so many gadgets, wonderful, great for him. But I have enough gadgets, I have enough challenges posed by what I have at this point. I'm completely happy with what I have. You may have read this. You may have seen this saying, right? I was unhappy with my shoes till I saw a person with no legs. Means what? Think about the people who have nothing. I have an iPhone 10 and I'm thinking, oh, usko iPhone 12 aa gaya. I mean, he has iPhone 12. It's so great. You think about a person who does not have a phone or who has this kutti phone, right? So again, Pratipaksha Bhava, you need to constantly monitor your mind. The idea here is you have to be in charge of your mind rather than letting the mind control you. The moment you let your mind control you and it's uncontrolled, right? So it takes you in many which way. It takes you on its merry path. Oh yeah, he has too many things. Oh, I'm so unhappy. Oh, my parents are not able to get me anything. It takes you down a silly path and you cannot control it anymore, right? So control, basically introspection, identification, detection, and negation, filling your mind with love for the world, filling your mind with admiration for people, right? These are some thoughts. Remember, once you identify and detect, it's not sufficient to just do that, right? You need to negate and substitute. Substitution can be things like admiration. Oh, he has worked so hard for his success. He deserves it, right? That's admiration. It's not a thought, oh, he got more than me. That's comparison. That you don't want. Just thoughts of admiration. Fill your thoughts with love for the person. Oh, and maybe compassion. Oh, he really has had a tough time this year, right? He needs this success. Again, these are ways to tell your mind, do not be jealous. So this is what I wanted to convey on this particular topic, right? Jealousy is a very interesting topic. I hope all of these principles are in mind. So as a final roundup, right? So now we have covered 5 major topics, right? So let me just put my thoughts again around them. You guys can go, maybe all of you can come online. I don't know, maybe the bandwidth won't be sufficient. The final roundup is all of us, each and every one of us is a mixture of 3 sets of gunas, 3 sets of qualities. Tamas, Rajas, Sattva. Tamas is simply inertia, laziness. Rajas is action, doing things. Sattva is purity or goodness, right? Tamas by itself, pure laziness. It's like Kumbhakarna, no? Sleeping for 6 months of the year, no problem. He's not harming others at that point. It is, of course, he's ignorant, he's inertia, he's lazy, but he's not harming. Where it gets hard or where it gets difficult is when tamas mixes in with some rajas, right? When you have that quality, you cannot avoid rajas, right? It's always there. Some passion, some activity is always there. But tamas with rajas is dangerous. It manifests itself in various ways, right? The extreme form, which is called rajasic tamas, right? That is basically cruelty, degradation, deprivation, all kinds of things, right? Extreme, that is rajasic tamas. The other form of this thing is tamasic rajas, right? Jealousy, greed, high passions, etc. We talked about those. Now, Sattva incorporated with Rajas is what we need to evolve to. We really want to go there at this point. Of course, Sattvic Rajas is where you're able to concentrate well, you're working hard, etc. You're using ethics, you're ethical. And Rajasic Sattva is basically you have principles like Ahimsa, Satya, Brahmacharya, all of these incorporated into your daily life. So our whole process of moving here is from a state of tamas towards a state of sattva. And that whole process is called sadhana. Sadhana, various forms of sadhana. You can do prayer, right? Tera tujuko arpane, right? When we are mere custodians. Oh Lord, whatever you have given us in this world, we are just custodians. We surrender to you. Karma yoga, we talked about arpana bhava, doing your best, fulfilling the potential that is in you. Prasada bhava, accepting the result, that as Lord's prasada at that point. Satsanga, keeping the company of the good, right? At both physical level, you associate with good people, with the wise people, with the people who can give you good advice. That's at the physical level. But also at the mental level, we keep satsanga with our good thoughts at that point. Someone talked about devas, asuras. Devas are the good thoughts, asuras are the bad thoughts. Satsanga is favoring the devas. You are in control of your mind. You can control your thoughts at that point, right? So this whole process of achieving mind control through IDNS, keep that, IDNS, introspection, detection, negation, substitution. These 4 techniques are very valuable principles in moving through life. So let's look at the Gita verse again, right? We talked about 3 situations. Equanimity in situations, 3 relationships. Equanimity in situations, love for people, and control of the mind. All of these finally, when we really follow them, right? Each of these statements reaffirm the same thing. We are all from one source. We are all children of one God. This entire universe is a manifestation of a single source called Brahman. Man identifies, when he is identified with his limited BMI, with his limited ego, he is of course faced with various situations, various experiences. Many of them are negative. Many of them puts him through the cycle of jealousy, lack of concentration. It puts him through that whole thing as long as he is associated with his body, mind, intellect, ego. The moment the man is able to go above that, he's able to identify with the Lord, with Brahman, he's able to then get equanimity in situations. He's automatically going to have love for all beings because they're all from the same source. And finally, he's able to control his mind and his senses. So that particular verse says, you finally attain me after going through all these relationships in life, as long as you practice these principles. So this is all what this workshop was trying to do by giving you various situations and enabling you to discuss them, and especially in today's finale, to come out and actually talk about them in detail. The idea here is we identify with the underlying principle of all of them. As long as we can get there, and it's a process, mind you. It's not an automatic, you put a switch and you get the light. It's a process, a continual, gradual process called sadhana, where we are trying to move from a tamasic state towards a sattvic state. And as long as we can continue that sadhana progressively, we are in the right track. So let's all take a sankalpa that we will continue our sadhana, continue on this evolutionary path, and we will really improve ourselves from a individual point of view at this point.